when you stop and you actually think about somebody, how can you express your love for that person?
Shared experience will look different for everybody. It doesn't mean your love language is not quality time. It just means your expression of it is different.
A lot of trauma that goes behind those different things and why you experience love certain ways or why you don't.
I need to stop myself and go, okay, it really doesn't matter.
You're listening to another episode of the Apology Void podcast.
And today's topic was already decided, was it not?
It was in our last
episode. We said we were going to talk about, well, I feel like I commandeered that and said we were going to talk about love languages. It just came up. So that's what we're going to do today. Talk about love languages, how that affects us, our relationships, all of the above.
Sal, I love that our last episode, you're like, this one's for me. And then at the end of that episode, you're like, this one's also what I'm picking. And I was like, okay, that's great.
It's just no time to mess around. It's like, this is what we're doing. Yes, I'm talking about this. We're talking about this.
Well, you're kind of in a season where you don't have time to mess around with these things. So it's just like, we're going, we're doing, we're in it to win it. So we've got that. We've got another topic. Yeah, no time to think about any of it. Like, we're just moving and grooving, man.
We spoke about this a bit last week too. It's the season of it is the holiday season. It's the silly season. So we're just in the deep end of the silly season.
Yeah.
As you are too. We're both in there. You know,
Yes.
We love this. I think we've established by now that we thrive in chaos.
Correct. I do better with when there's like deadlines and immediate deadlines and a lot to do. If that's not the case, and this probably goes back to like my ADHD brain, if I don't have a clear plan and deadline, I can't do the thing. It's like I have to tell myself, if someone's like, you can do this whenever you want, I'm like, no. Tuesday at 4 p.m. it has to be to you. Got it. Done. Give me a solid deadline and it will be accomplished.
It does work. Like, I know this is not our topic for today, but if you want to get something done, just set yourself a deadline. Because whenever we have deadlines in anything, if that have been at school or university or work, you always get it done. So just set one.
Do we need to give you a deadline for getting in some quality time with play and board games and things?
Because in all transparency, just a bit of reflection on last episode, it's in the back of my mind, but I have not played a board game in the last 2 weeks. It's okay. It's fine. It's still in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
It will happen.
Well, I wonder if that actually plays into your love languages as well, because I know we're talking about love languages today, and one of them is quality time. And I'm pretty sure that's one of my partner's love languages. Like, his primary is probably like quality time, which is playing board games for him. So I was just kind of piecing the two together in my brain and wondering if that's something that like your partner values or the two of you value together or how that comes about. And I just have so many questions and I'm excited.
No, we can definitely get into it. Before we get too deep, I feel like some people may not have heard of love languages.
That's true. Yeah.
So I guess we can, because I hadn't actually. I've known about it for quite a long time, but when it was first introduced to me, I hadn't. Like, I didn't know about the book. I didn't know about the website test you could do. Nothing. No idea. Didn't know what mine was, etc. But I guess it's just different ways people give and receive love. It's like how you prefer to give and receive. And it's like knowing your own and knowing other people's, like you were just saying, you know, Nathan's, can really help you connect with people more deeply. And same with yourself. Like, if you know yourself, you know, you can do things that fill your cup more easily. So there are 5 love languages.
Yes.
One is quality time. We've spoken about that.
Yes.
We've got words of affirmation. So words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm kind of going off memory here.
You're doing great.
Acts of service.
Yep.
And gifts, like gift giving, or I don't know what they call that one in the book actually, but receiving gifts, I think it is. Receiving gifts.
Okay, one more time. One more time. We've got
Words of affirmation,
yes.
quality time,
Okay.
physical touch,
Okay.
acts of service,
You got it.
and receiving gifts.
Correct. There it is. I just
Yes.
had to like go back through my brain because that was just a lot to process very quickly. Yeah,
Yes.
those are the five that are outlined in the book that is
Yes.
all about the five love languages. There
Uh,
are other schools of thought and other theories and other breakdowns of what they are, but they all follow along the same kind of path. You know, no matter what you identify with, you experience love more deeply in certain ways than others. Like, if getting a gift is the thing that like lights up your world entirely, great. Then maybe we need to find a way to express that. Like, whether that's communicating that to your partner or finding people who have similar love languages, because it's very, very, very different. And so it's just as important for you to know that about your partner or your friends as it is for you to know it about yourself.
100%. And I was just saying before we were recording that, like, we're not going to ask people to take the quiz, right? You're not going to walk around the streets and be like, "Excuse me, can you please take the love language quiz so I know how to interact with you?" Like, no, we're not going to do that. I think once I sort of read the book and immersed myself in and became familiar with the different love languages, it became easier, I guess, or more evident what other people's were. Now,
Yeah.
whether that's a very clear winner, so whether it's one way above the rest, because you get a score. When you do the test, you get a score of each one. And some people have a very, very clear first, and some people have very close scores. So they actually value a lot of them, all of them, or three or four of them together. But it can become obvious what people respond to more positive than other things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Nick has done the test now because I told him to do the test because I can tell him. But prior, but prior to that, I predicted what his would be. Like I knew that his would be words of affirmation before he even did the test. But because I know him so well, you can't predict everybody's. But I think it becomes a little bit clear what they may value more than, and you can sort of gauge that in their behaviors, in their words, in what they give to you as well. I actually learned something last week from you because I was under the impression that naturally you give what you like to receive. So if your love language is physical touch, you would generally like to give physical touch, which I think is true for the most part. But you were saying you can have different ones.
Yeah. It's not as common, but there are some people who have a different way of expressing love than they do of receiving it. So
Mm.
I love giving people gifts. Receiving gifts is actually my lowest score. So it's funny, like, just knowing both sides of yourself. Like, when do you feel like you're showing love the most? And when do you feel like you're receiving it the most? And if you reword some of the questions that way, it's like, oh, okay, I kind of understand where either I need to grow and work on showing those things to other people maybe a little bit differently, or just kind of who those people are in your life that might appreciate those things and why they might. So it's pretty neat. It's
Mm.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. So are you saying when you did the test, your gift receiving gifts or gift giving, whatever that's called? Well, I don't know the name of that one. Because it's my lowest as well. That
Gifts.
you scored gifts, that you scored the lowest on that.
Correct.
But in yourself, you know that you love to give gifts.
Correct.
Right. That's so interesting.
Yeah. Now I will say, and we can get into this on a little bit, but my scores are not terribly varied. Like there is one that
Okay.
is much, not even much. There's one that's slightly higher, and then there's some that are slightly lower. So there's a scale for sure, but the variance between them is fairly small. So It's
Right.
interesting. But do you wanna talk about any of the different love languages and what they might look like or how they might be experienced, I guess?
100%. But I just wanna know first, are you happy to share yours? Do you wanna share your love language?
I can, yeah.
You don't have to share your love language if you don't want.
So my biggest one that makes me feel the most loved is words of affirmation. It just is. It's not words of affirmation from anyone in my life. And I don't just mean like, you're doing a great job. You look pretty. It's more like the thoughtful communication. And I took a different test that was actually 8 different love expressions. And even there, the top one was nurturing communication, which I think is a good way to look at that words of affirmation, because it's not just like affirming that someone exists. It's nurturing them as a human through your verbal or written communication, because words can come across in different ways. Words can
Mm,
be verbal, again, they can be written, they can be a text, it can be any sort of communication form. For my partner and I, sometimes in crowded settings, that looks like a glance across a room, or us doing funky hand signals, or using sign language sometimes, so that we're still communicating and putting that effort into communicating with one another. So that is my tops.
mhm,
Do you know
okay,
yours?
mhm.
Mhm.
Unlike yours, my love languages are I have a clear winner and then, like, the rest are down the bottom. So mine's acts of service is my number 1 love
Okay.
language. Yeah. So acts of service is, like, I guess, doing things for people or having things done for you, and it doesn't have to be like, I want you to do my washing. Like, I'm not saying, like, it could be Nick gets me, like, a cup of tea in bed,
Yeah.
in the mornings or at night or whatever. So that's like an acts of service. Or if I get home and the house looks immaculate and clean and smells nice and stuff, I'm just like, it just makes me feel so good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yes.
don't expect it. I don't expect that that's all done for me. And I actually give that as well. And it's really interesting. I have to kind of catch myself because I'll like, yeah, clean the whole house or make everything immaculate for Nick to come home. And he doesn't actually care. Like he doesn't give a shit. Like because he's not acts of service. He does care. That's not true. As in, like, he's great. He's appreciative. He's grateful, but it doesn't give him as much joy as it does give me the joy to do that. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yes.
My second is physical touch. That was the second one, but it is much lower. And then they were all like, I think under 10. I'm well and truly under 10 from memory. I haven't done the quiz, but anyway, it was like acts of service in the space, and then like all the rest down here on the ground. Like,
Mine was not that.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
no.
that's interesting.
Mm-mm. Nope, not even close. Not even close to like that. Okay, I'm actually gonna show you, a graph. I don't know if it'll show up well, but it's 8 different. This is 8 different expressions.
No way.
Yeah.
They're all like pretty much the same.
Yes.
That's
Correct. So
crazy.
there's the slightly bigger one that's the purple, and then there's the smallest one that's the blue. So you've got the words of affirmation, or the what is it? What do they call it? Nurturing communication, and at the bottom is thoughtful
Yes.
gifts. But like nurturing communication was not much higher than any of them. So like the rest of them, I tied exactly for intellectual stimulation, physical affection, and time together. So those would be like
Wow.
your physical touch
Hmm.
and
Quality time.
quality time.
Mm.
But they broke it down
Yeah.
into a couple extra little spots. The nurturing communication emotional connection, so like deep
Mhm.
conversation, growth and support, so someone who supports your like hopes and dreams and does things to actually support your maybe like career or your goal-driven self. Intellectual
Mhm.
stimulation, so sharing articles, going to museums, and then the physical touch, time together, so that quality time,
Mm.
actions, which again would be that acts of service and thoughtful gifts. And like acts of service, quality time, physical affection, all tied together, like all tied.
Mm.
We there was less than 10% difference between my highest and my lowest.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I like, it's not, and it's there's no, I guess this is the beauty about it, right?
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong. If your love language is gifts, if your love language is acts of service, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
it's just what you have or what you love to give and receive. And there's nothing bad or good. It's not,
Yeah.
because I have heard people say with the gifts thing before, right? That they think, oh, my love language is gifts. It's not like I just want to receive gifts all the time. I'm like, I don't think that. Like, I'm not over here thinking, oh, I just want to be given things all the time. It doesn't actually mean that. Like it's the thought behind it. It's the generosity behind it. It's all of those things that come along with giving a gift and the joy you experience when that person receives it and gets joy from it. That's all counted, do you know? And I think
Yeah.
that people kind of forget, and they think that, not that they think their love language is wrong, but I just have heard people say, oh, I thought mine would be quality time. Like, I do love spending time with people. Like, I know that. Like, it's not, I'm not saying you're wrong for wanting, like me, I'm not wrong for wanting acts of service. Like,
No.
if I love to have my lawns mowed,
Great.
brilliant, great,
Awesome. If somebody
awesome.
doing that for you makes you feel loved, that's phenomenal.
That's right. Yeah.
Great. And there's a person for you who's going to do those things, or you're going to have the conversation with them knowing that that's your love language. You have the conversation with them to say, here is how I feel most valued and loved. I
Mm,
appreciate being seen in these ways and feel the most affection when these things happen.
mm.
You're able to advocate then. You're able to have wonderful adult deep conversations about what actually makes you feel good as opposed to just assuming that your partner can read your mind.
That's right. And also, I just want to point out, sometimes it's very natural to fall back into giving what you want to receive as well. So again, whilst it may not always be true, for the most part, so for me, very clearly, I need to stop myself and go, okay, it really doesn't matter. I don't need to give acts of service. And you have to actively, because naturally I want to do that. And I have to
Yeah.
go, no, it's more important if I use words of affirmation, but it's not natural to me, if that makes sense. So it
100%.
can take, yeah, it can take work to give the one that you're not.
Yeah.
Anyway, we
Mm.
got sidetracked, but we can go back and explain them all.
Oh, no, this is great. I think we're explaining them as we go here. So, like, quality time. Well, let's get into it
Mm,
for a second.
let's get into quality time.
And I guess for all of them, like, the way that you experience those things looks different because different acts of service mean different things to different people. So it's also about getting to know that person. Like, I swear to you, if somebody did my laundry and just haphazardly did my laundry, I would be more infuriated than I would be happy. Does that make
Ditto.
sense? So, like, you do that act of service for me, and it is a disservice for me. Um, unless you have studied my laundry habits and you have been very perceptive of all those things and you know how to do them and you're reading labels and all of that. If you do that, that's a phenomenal act of service. So,
Ditto.
for my
Appreciate that.
yeah, like
Mm.
if I have to ask you 6 times to do something, it's no longer an act of service either in my brain. But
Oh,
if somebody
surely it's less
checking
than 6. Anyway.
but
Yep.
if somebody checking off like a list makes you feel good, that's great. That's amazing. That's awesome. But doing things without reminders or doing things just because or doing things because you noticed them and they needed to be done, that's totally different for me. That's a
Mm.
totally different thing. So, anywho, coming back around to quality time for a second. I think that, and I don't know this for sure because I haven't had Nathan do the test, but I think that his primary love language is quality time, but it
Mhm,
doesn't look like it would for me. So quality time for me is like going for a walk together.
mhm,
For him, it's me going for a walk while he disc golfs. That's how he stays engaged, but it's his version of quality time. He
mhm.
loves, bless this man, he loves going to the grocery store together. That is like premium quality time for him is going to the grocery store together.
That's so cute.
And I realized the other day, I was like, let me know what you need for this thing. I'll just go take care of it real quick. And he's like, no, it's not about it being quick. It's worth the time to do it together. You don't have to just be efficient. And I was like, you sweet loving man. I adore
His is
you
definitely quality time.
100%. And it's not like sitting on the couch, but you know what it is doing? It's each of us sending each other messages throughout the day that are like reels that we see on social media, sending those, not watching them, and then sitting down together to share them.
Mm,
So I think we'd be more upset if we actually watched the things each other sent without the other person because it's a
yeah,
version of quality time. So like
quality time.
once you figure out what your love language is, it's also figuring out what your version of that love language is, like what that looks like
Mhm,
for you. If somebody tells me every day, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, that's no longer words of like affirmation for me. It's the specific language and time you take to give a specific compliment or to back me up without me asking, like to
mhm,
share words without my asking. Anyway, I'm rambling
mm.
now.
No, no, it's good. And I think you've nailed it though, because it's how we express it or how we do it. How we, I guess, if Nathan's version is going to the grocery store, it's not really about how we do it because the around the definition of quality time is shared experience.
Correct.
So shared experience will look different for everybody. It doesn't mean your love language is not quality time. It
Yeah.
just means your expression of it is different.
Yeah.
So, where that's, and it can be sitting on the couch. We use as an example. It literally can be sitting on the couch and watching a movie. That is quality
Correct.
time. It
Yes.
can be going for a walk. It can be going to the grocery store. It can be sometimes like Nick and I laid in bed last night and just after work we're just chatting and then we like listen to a little bit of an audiobook together. Like that's quality time. I know,
Oh,
it's cute. I know,
I mean,
we're
we're
cute
doing
though.
something similar where we're,
Yeah.
honestly looking for car time together so that we can listen to an audiobook together.
Yeah. So it
It's
doesn't matter how you express it. It's just that quality time means shared experience.
yeah,
And I think that sums it up. But that goes for everything. How you express it is not important. It's just what it means. It's like words of affirmation. It can be compliments, like you're saying, but it can also be like encouragement. It can also be like having appreciation. It can also be like sending you a message, like a thoughtful
correct.
message. Do you know
Yeah.
that is all words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
really important. But they can look all different because some people may find it uncomfortable to give compliments.
Yeah.
But they'll send you a message saying, thanks so much for your help with this thing that you did for me. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Like that's words of affirmation.
It can look different as well. Like my dad did this differently in a way that made me really smile. Um, he knows that I'm really into learning about all of the medical things. I have many chronic health conditions. And so it's just become second nature to like know all the things and know the diagnoses. And he showed me that he was listening by sending me an email with a related article that was about research on something. That was words of affirmation that said, I see you, I hear you, and I'm trying to understand you. And so that's a different way that people can do that too. It can also be
Mm,
that sharing a video that makes you think of someone, that tells you, I'm thinking of you. I'm affirming your beliefs. It can be sending a news article. It can be a phone call. It can be a text message. It can be a letter in the mail if that's how people feel, the most loved and appreciated. I was just telling Sal before we started this that I put together a bunch of homemade Christmas cards for people because I know a lot of people in my life are words of affirmation people and love receiving written text that they can hold on to and physically keep. So,
Mm,
it just looks
100%.
different.
And you might actually find, interestingly, that your dad's might have acts of service in there, because to go to the effort to look for the article, find the article, add it to the email, like with the
Yeah.
words, that's an act of service.
Yeah.
So you might find that he might have a little bit of like a high score on that, because that's how he's going, okay, so, like I see you, I hear you in his mind,
Yeah.
but he's way like, oh, I could send an article because that she'll love that.
Yeah.
And in his mind, that's feeding his acts of service as well. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah. It's
it's like
also
a
a
bit interwoven.
it's like a gifts thing too.
Yeah, it is.
And he's a huge gift giver. But that
Right.
kind of is
That makes sense.
it crosses all of the different things. And
Yeah.
it's not the thing specifically that you're doing, but rather the intention and the the attention that you're paying. Like when you stop and you actually think about somebody or something, how can you express your love for that person? Not with a blanket, bland thing, but by giving it actual attention to what they would enjoy, what they would love, what means something to them. That just it changes everything. Changes
Mm,
everything.
does. Yeah. And you're right with the receiving the gifts as well, because your handwritten cards, while you're putting the words in there, which is feeding your primary love language, that's also a gift. So you're
Yep.
giving somebody a handwritten card. That's a gift giving. So while you might not want to receive one, that's you're giving love by that. And it doesn't have to be like a present. It could be like food, like buying someone their favorite snack.
Yeah.
That's a gift.
Yes.
So receiving gifts is like giving and or thing giving things thoughtfully. I guess that's the love language there. So it doesn't have to be, as I said, a present. It's
No.
just expressing yourself and going, here, I'm thinking of you in a gift format, I guess, if that makes sense.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a thoughtful gesture that
Yeah.
is more physical. I don't
Yeah.
know. The acts of service fills a need. I feel like there's a
Mm.
need-based element of it, something that will support you in your environment. Um, it's kind of what I think of with that one, like cooking someone dinner, bringing them a glass of water, helping them out when they're sick, doing the dishes. Any of the number of things feels very much more like you see what they need, what they would do, or
Mm.
where that gap might be, and you try to fill that, as opposed to a gift sometimes being something extra, like not a need, but maybe a want. I don't know. Acts of service can also be wants. I'm like going through all this right now. It's been a minute since I've read the book, but highly
Same, and
recommend.
same. Like I haven't read highly recommend. And I've gone on to I'm going to bring it up. I've gone on to the website like recently, but the
Hmm.
book I haven't read. I'm just looking it up now while we're.
I'm pretty sure it's on this
So the
shelf.
books, yeah, I think I've packed mine in a box. It's by Gary Chapman. So let's just put that there. The
Yeah.
book's written by Gary Chapman. And you can get a physical copy. And then the website, I'm just looking. So it's, 5lovelanguages.com. So you can do the quiz there. It's free. And then I think they email it to you from memory. So I'm just looking. Yeah. So go on the website, 5lovelanguages. That's a mouthful. 5lovelanguages.com.
Com.
And the book's by Gary Chapman. So let me just bring up, if I bring up the website, we should bring up the definitions of the website. Anyway, I think we've pretty much covered it, but acts of service. You're right, because I was going to say acts of service is the need thing that you're talking about. It's a way to make somebody's life easier.
Yeah.
So a gift is like giving and receiving the gift or giving mainly, like expressed through, I guess you think they would love it. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Whereas acts of service is like, I'm going to make this person's life easier by mowing their lawn.
So I kind
Is
of
that,
realized,
am I articulating?
yeah, no, you totally are. You totally are. It's paying attention to someone in different ways. And one of the reasons I think that gift giving is so low for me is because people always ask what I want. And that's not the kind of gifts that make an impact for me.
Mm, no.
It's when you pay attention to someone and what they're telling you, and you get them a gift based on the information that you have, that you're perceiving and that you pay attention to.
Mm,
So if somebody asks me for a wish list of things and then just buys an item off of there, that's great. That's wonderful. I love that you're doing that. And if it brings you joy, that's fantastic. If I get something on a random Tuesday that's I was thinking of you. I passed by this coffee shop and I know it's your favorite. And so I wanted to make sure that I brought you back a drink. That's a gift. That is a gift that I would
that's a gift.
appreciate be- and appreciate more because you're paying attention and you're
Mm,
doing something without having to have my input. Like
mm-hmm,
you're doing it specifically just from your heart. And those are the
mm,
kinds of things that make more of an impact for me. So
mm-hmm,
maybe that's why gifts rank lower. It's also like physical affection. Like I love giving people hugs. I do not appreciate physical touch from anyone except for my partner,
mm-hmm.
basically. I will
Yep,
accept a hug, but it is far less comfortable for me. And so it goes way lower because there is
yep,
specifically one person who I appreciate physical touch from.
yep.
So, and I think that can change. It can
I'm
change
glad you
over time.
said that. Oh, 100%. And I think you can become a little bit more comfortable and maybe even less comfortable. I'm not sure, but you can definitely become more comfortable. But I'm glad you said that because, say, first side note, me hugging you the first time we met, you're probably dying.
Oh, it was
But,
amazing. No, it
but
was actually really amazing. See, that's something where I wanted a hug in that
no,
situation.
I get it. I was just
But I've
taking
also known that I'm a very huggy person, and so I've started asking people if that's something they're comfortable with, just as a respect thing. I love giving
Yes,
people
me
hugs,
too.
but I don't love when random people just like touch my arm or my shoulder or
Mm,
whatever. I will do hugs most days.
yeah.
Anyway,
No, so funny.
continue.
That was a side note. But I'm glad you said it because I was going to say there are discomfort levels with the love
Mhm.
languages. I was going to touch on this. And I think the most obvious one is physical touch.
Yep.
You know, because we all know socially that some people like hugs and some people don't, right? So I love hugs. I love hug. I'll hug anybody. I don't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
I'll just hug it. Like I don't care. As in, okay, I do care. That's probably a bit too far. I wouldn't just go hug like, you know what I mean. Anyway, I love hugs. Like I would just go up and hug everybody, right? But some people get really uncomfortable with that. And
Mhm.
it's about knowing that. And I sort of lose sight of that as well because I'm really physical touch orientated. But more rare, like gifts actually make me a little bit uncomfortable.
Yep.
Like, and I think that that's not as normal. I'm using my air quotes. I don't like that word, but it's not as common, I guess. Look, I'm happy to receive a gift and I'm super grateful. But I think, well, when I say I'm happy to, I'm very grateful that someone has thought of me and bought me a gift. But I'm always like, please, like you don't have to buy, like, but you don't have to get me a gift. Like, please don't, because I don't need the gift. I really don't need the gift, and I genuinely mean that. It's
Yep.
so low on my love language. But I need to remember. Sorry, I'm sidetracking. It's very low on my love language to finish that sentence. So I'm like, please don't. Like, I actually, I don't need you to do that. But I need to remember that some people's want of expressing love is giving it. So,
Yeah.
and it's same with the hugs. It's like losing track. And I feel like physical touch is a bit harder because you can't just touch random people if they don't like it, but you can give a random person a gift and it's accepted. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it's important to note there's discomfort levels with all of them. And
Yes.
same as words of affirmation. If someone doesn't like words of affirmation and you're like, oh my gosh, you're doing such an amazing job, like, wow, like, look at you, like, blah, blah, and then they'd be like, oh no, like, and they get really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, oh gosh, there's so much that goes into it.
So deep. So
Well,
deep.
and I feel like a lot of it comes also from our own histories and trauma space. So for
Right.
me, hugs are safe. I will hug basically everyone. I will accept a hug from basically everyone. But weirdly, you touch me on the shoulder, you put your arm around me and you leave it there, we're done. Absolutely not. No,
Right.
not a fan. Gifts. If it's a bigger gift, it's going to make me uncomfortable because of my own financial history. For
Mm.
things like acts of service, there are things that I have way too much control over that I appreciate that control over, and I do not want anyone to do for me ever. And they would make me very uncomfortable. And so I feel like with all of them, there are limits. And
Hmm.
there are a lot of trauma that goes behind those different things and why you experience love certain ways or why you don't enjoy love certain ways. So I feel like that's an important thing to understand about yourself and learn about so that you can
Yes.
advocate after you understand. I know I was going to say A and B, but process differently. Understand yourself so that you can advocate for your
There's 2 points
needs.
in there.
There we
Understand.
go.
Advocate. Yeah.
Just did them in opposite
They've
directions.
intertwined. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
100%. And I think it starts with doing. So I think the first step with the love languages, it's really interesting. I will add that. Like when you read, you don't have to go read the whole book. I'm not saying go read the whole book, but at least go onto the website, the Mouthful website, and do the test and see what yours is. It's
Yeah.
a fun exercise, number one. It's interesting. And you'll probably have a little giggle to yourself because you'll think, oh, that's actually true. Like I love to, I love when people tell me that I'm doing an amazing job. Or I love it when people come up to me and touch me on the shoulder, much to Katie's dismay. Like, I love it when people, do you know what? Like, you'll find it really interesting. It's a little bit eye opening as well. Sometimes I find that it's like, I didn't realize that that's how I like receiving. And I was giving that all the time.
Uh-huh.
And people may not appreciate or reciprocate because that's not how they like to receive.
Yeah.
That's a very, very shortened version of what I was trying to say, but it's eye-opening because I think you realize everyone's is different and you can give different things.
Read a
You like that?
paragraph synopsis of each. Take the test.
Yes,
Evaluate things. Learn and
do
grow.
it. The end.
The
Good
end.
summary. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On that note.
Before we wrap up, though, sorry, on that note, but before we wrap up, I just want to add one more thing, that if you have goals, it's really important as well to set your goals with your love language in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, if your goal is to, I'm pulling out a goal. Give me a goal. Give me a goal. Health goal. Strength, health goal, like fitness goal. You're going to the gym, you're looking strong.
I want to walk 6,000 steps every day this week.
That's your goal. Great. So then by the end of it, if your love language is words of affirmation and what will make you feel good is your partner or a significant other or a parent or whatever saying, wow, I'm so proud of you for achieving that 6,000 steps this week. You did such an amazing job. That's what's going to make you feel good, and that will help with motivation to achieve the goal.
There you go. I was trying
There
to
you
come
go.
up with
Boom.
something very,
I loved it.
tangible, quick.
That was very tangible, and I loved it.
Well, and maybe it's something bigger and you're a gifts person. Like, go to the
Ah.
gym 4 days a week for the next 4 weeks, and you gift yourself a pair of
Yes.
shoes or a new
Shoes.
pair of leggings to wear to the gym or something. I don't know, a water bottle you really want or stickers to put on your water bottle.
It helps.
Yeah.
It helps. Yeah. Yay. No, I love
Yay.
love languages. Do the test. And if you want to read the book, Gary Chapman, it's really good.
Good stuff. All right. Talk soon.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.